The Joe Rogan Experience.
I think I met you in L.A.
Are you
in
serious?
1993.
That's a good possibility. That would have been mid to end of my term out there.
I was doing something for MTV, and you were one of the first celebrities that I met. I met Rico Suave and a couple other people.
Shut the front door. Yes. Okay. Yeah, because I was early in on the MTV stuff. The label I was with was pushing whatever, throw me on whatever was available.
I was with this woman who was an executive at MTV, and she was taking me around and showing me L.A. I'd never been to L.A. before. And, I'd been once for a martial arts competition when I was young. Here was, and she took me to this nightclub, and you were at the front door about to get in. And I was like, holy shit, that's Julian Lennon.
Which one it was?
Weird. No, I don't. I remember very little about it.
Was I with some fruitcakes? I'm sure I was.
I don't remember. I just remember that's a famous guy. Wow. John Lennon's son. Crazy. Because, I was coming from New York.
Of course.
25, 26 years old. I didn't know anything. And I was like, this is so strange. It was just strange to me to be in these Hollywood parties with this MTV executive who's taking me around and showing me all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
She was just kind of introduce you, this is what it's like.
Yeah.
This is what everybody does. They go out to the clubs, and it was just...
Yeah. Yeah, the scary thing about L.A. was that you thought it was all over by 2 o'clock, because they literally pull your drinks at 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
But then they go to someone's house.
Right.
And they continue till dawn, So that was dangerous too.
Yeah.
So I was happy that I got away from that.
Fortunately, I avoided all that.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some fun to be had, no question about it. But
I'm sure
a lot of it was kind of dark too.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, that's when you start adding cocaine to human beings, you get darkness.
Oh yeah, and a lot of Jack Daniels too.
They go hand in hand.
Yes.
Yeah, I avoided all that, luckily. When I moved to L.A., I'm one of those people that's like,
you were out
see
there
where that's
how
going.
How long were you out there for?
I guess 30, well, no, not quite 30 years, 26 years, because I've been here for 4.
That's a stretch. Okay.
Yeah, the most of my life, the most I've ever lived anywhere, I lived there. But I only went to parties a handful, very small handful of times. It was like I was dragged to them.
Yeah.
The last one I was dragged to was Naomi Campbell's birthday party, which was
I'm sure that was...
it was insane.
Yeah.
It was with Dave Chappelle. So Dave and I were at the Comedy Store, and, Dave knows everybody.
Yes.
Dave's like,
yeah.
Hey, man, there's a party up in the hills. You want to go? And I was like, I don't want to go to any fucking parties.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, man, I want to go alone. So I said, okay. So me and Dave, we drove all the way up. It was like a scene in a movie.
Yeah.
Because, here's me and my super famous friend, and we're in my Porsche, and we're in my race car. I have a GT3. So we're driving up in the hills, and then we have to stop at this place, and then you have to get on a shuttle, and then...
Yeah.
You get to the house, and then you get on an elevator, an outside elevator that takes you from the main house to the party house.
Right.
So they had a party house on the top of this hill. So we're up in this elevator with Demi Moore, which is weird as it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, hi. It's fucking weird. Hi, famous lady.
Yeah.
And then we get to the top of this hill, and it's just everybody famous. It's Lenny Kravitz and all these different people.
Yeah.
And so... Naomi Campbell, there's a photograph of her on the side of the hill that's literally 50 feet tall. It's an enormous naked photograph of her.
Of course.
Because it's her birthday.
Well, of course.
She's unbelievably beautiful still, as old as she is. I don't know how old she is, but she looks sensational. So we get to the top of this place. We're hanging out. It's very weird. And then Dave pulls me aside. He goes, man, I wouldn't want to be this famous. I go, hey, man. You're the most famous motherfucker here. He goes, really?
Oh, yeah.
Because we were a little high. He goes, really? I go, 100%. You're the most famous person
for
here.
Sure.
We're just laughing. This is so crazy. And then we got out of there and went right back to the Comedy Store. And we're like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's just too strange.
The scenes are pretty weird out there, that's for sure.
Well, it's also these celebrities, they can't hang out with regular people, I think. They feel too weird. So I think they try to get together.
Yeah.
And so we were in like
absolutely, you're spot on.
a vampire den
Yes,
of famous people.
You are absolutely spot on.
They call it
true.
like, he said it was like an eyes wide shut party. I'm like, that's what it feels
Yeah,
like.
well,
It feels
yeah,
like you're in a
I mean,
secret fraternity.
No, there's a few that I've left that I felt very uncomfortable being at. That's
Like what?
Well, I mean, couldn't tell you exactly where and when, but certainly some weird ones up in the hills. So I just went, nah, this just doesn't feel good.
There's something about the act of going up into the hills, like you're going to the lair.
Well,